Hi there, I'm Mark Marshall from Sandula Conservation. Today I'm talking about plants of the thicket. Now that sounds very, very strange. Firstly, what on earth is a thicket? Now, there are so many vegetation types. For example, desert vegetation, the savanna, the woodlands, the forest, all that type of stuff. There's even coastal vegetation. Now, thicket is just a part of vegetation or a group of vegetation or plant community. In other words, a certain bunch of plants live in a certain area because of rainfall, the depth of the soil, that type of thing. And that's why we've got a lot of different plant communities. I mean, in South Africa alone, if you drive from the one side to the other, you'll find forest, you'll find a woodland, then you'll cross through a semi desert Koroid or Karoo forest, Karoo thicket, desert thicket. And then you get our big fynbos community, which is full of millions and billions of little flowers. But now I'm talking about the thicket. This thicket is very weird vegetation because it seldom ever grows to over 2.5, 3 meters high. So you're never going to get huge, big, massive trees growing there. You're only going to get about 2 meters or so, but the paths are the problem in thicket. You cannot walk through thicket. That's why it's called that, because it is so thick. You're going to get stuck with thorns all over you. You're going to get basically walking into a big, thick wall. Okay. The only way to get through it is to catch on to a little buck path, a path that's made from the little bucks and the animals in that area. And you're going to walk through the thicket following a buck path. You're going to get scratched because 90% of the plants of the thickets are thorns. They basically called what they do to you. For example, there's a plant called bee sting. This plant stings you because you walk past, the thorns grab hold of you, and they've got little tiny poison tips and that aggravate your skin. Also, everything wants to protect itself in the thicket. It doesn't want to get eaten because there's not much water in the thicket. There's not a lot of rain, so the plants are very thorny. They're very succulenty to keep on their water, and they have a couple tricks up their sleeves to actually survive. For example, there is a euphorbia. Euphorbia is like a little cactus aloe type thing. It's got thorns all over it, but when you cut it open, a very potent white milk comes out of it. Now, that milk is actually very, very poisonous. I've had the honor of having it splashed in my eyes before. I was blinded for about 3 hours. It was a miserable situation. I've never ever been in so much pain in my eyes before, other than when I was bitten in the eyes by a spitting cobra. But other than that, the phobia milk is just as bad. Okay. So don't eat it. Don't get it in your eyes. If you get it on your hand, it stains your hands. Just wash your hands off very, very well afterwards. Then you get another plant which everybody knows. It's called the speckworm. Speckworm is an ultra clever plant because this plant tastes very, very sweet in the morning because it knows it can be eaten in the morning. It can be browsed, no problem. It's a very healthy plant. Us humans can even eat it. But in the afternoon, it tastes horrible and bitter because it realized in the afternoon, after the sun's been baking on it all day, it's got a lot less water in it. So it tastes ugly to stop animals eating it in the afternoon. So animals will only eat it in the mornings because of that, right? There's not too many bees in the thicket because there's not too many flowers in the thicket. But the one flower is ultra, ultra clever, and that is called the Gasteria bicolor. And there's another one which is also very, very clever. Now, this guy is called the Stapelia. This plant does not want bees to help it pollinate. So when he opens his big flowers out, they are very funny looking. They're purple looking. They've got yellow spots all over them, and they stink like you will not believe. They smell like a rotten dead animal because they want a fly to come along and help pollinate him, not the bees. So the bees do good work, but the flies are also very good in pollinating this plant. So very, very clever. All the little creatures and all the little plants have actually adapted to live in this harsh environment in the thickets. Next time you go to the thickets, just have a look. Don't get scratched too much, but have a look and appreciate why it's there and how all those plants interact with one another and with their environment. Hope you enjoyed it. Please log on to sandulaconservation.co.za or Mark Marshall Sandula Conservation on Facebook. Thanks.